Thank you for purchasing Lighted Pinball Mod's Ultimate Topper. This is the installation video on how to install it. First thing you'll note is on the back of the mount there's 3 pilot holes. You'll take your, in most circumstances, your longer stand. This is for an 8-foot stand for a Bally Stearns. That is what we have here. You're going to pull off the protective coating off the plexiglass. Now this is the front. The part that comes out on the lower end is the front. And this is actually going to be the mount for the fan. And this will actually only slide on one way. So you're going to want to make sure that you're orientated with the lower bar towards the front. Now it comes with 3 screws. These are just going to line up. And you can just screw them in place with a hand screw. Now because this is a plexiglass plastic product, you're just going to want to tighten these up to as you would a plastic on the play field. Don't screw them all the way in super tight or you could crack your plexi. So I'm going to finish this up and we'll go to the next step. Okay, now that the 3 screws are screwed in, we're going to install the velcro. You must install the velcro. If you don't have the velcro on it, it will walk during gameplay, and the velcro is very easy. They're 2 10-inch strips. Just take off the backing and put one there. This velcro is really longer than what you need. It's overkill, but you are mounting a fan. Now just push those down nice and tight, and we'll leave this protective coating on for when we get it onto the game. Okay, now that the stand's together, just to show you how easily it mounts, this again, it only slides on in one direction. You want the flat end is going to be towards the front. On the back of the fan, there's also just a little slide, and that's going to slide on the back. Now, some fans do have a slightly different configuration here, but it's going to be almost identical to this. This will slide right onto your mount and you're set. Now again, very important that you don't plug this in until it's secured. Once this gets powered, it's going to turn on. So make sure this is secured in some way before you plug it in. Now the other thing is, always make sure you've got clearance for your fan blade. On this particular stand, which is the taller stand, you can see the blade goes a little bit in front and a little bit above. That way there's no interference. Now if you do go with the shorter blade for a Bally or a Stern or a shorter ceiling even, you're going to have to, it's going to drop the blade below the front here. So you need to make sure that you have the clearance for that. So this is how it's set up in the back. If you are going to use the shorter base, this will set back there. But as you see, the fan blade will drop in front of the fan. So this is designed to go right on the edge of your back box if you need to save those couple of inches. Now on your topper kit, it comes with a 2.5 meter power extension. And it's going to be important that we're going to want to run this from inside your game to your topper. The easiest way to do that on most games is there's a subwoofer on the base of your game. I've unloosened the screws, but your subwoofer comes right up. And then there's a grill here that comes right up. So on your cord, you would drop your cord through this. Now you have a couple of options you can do. This is going to work on almost all games, but On the back of your games, there's a few options. On the back of some games up here, there's some vents that you can go through. Also on some games back here, there's some vents. And on some games, on the back here, there's some games. Spike sterns actually have a plug up on the top for a topper, so you can actually run the wire up through that way. It doesn't matter how you run your power cord to your topper, those are just all the options that you have. Just figure out how you're going to hook up power to your Ultimate Topper from your game, and we're going to show you how to do that with a service outlet, but we're also going to show you how to do it if you don't have a service outlet, and we're also going to show you how to do it if you're overseas in Europe, Australia, or what have you. On the stern spike systems, you do have the service outlet on the top. The plug that comes with the Ultimate Topper won't fit in there, so you will need either a short extension cord or a power strip. We recommend using a power strip. This is what we had in the shop. It's got a very long cord. You don't need that long of a cord, but if you just plug this in to your service outlet and drop your power strip down into your main box, we'll remove the glass and the play field, and we'll go to the next step. Now for a few options on the power, on this game we've already run a power strip from the service outlet up above. Many games have a service outlet right in this corner. Now if you do have a overseas import, you're not going to have either of those options. So that's where we suggest you get an extension cord, one of the cheapest ones that have the thinner cord, because you're going to run this out, and you're going to plug that into your outlet, and then this will set right next to the cord that you have going out. Now once you get that set up, if you do have a European outlet, you'll have a European extension cord. Now this adapter will take between 110 and 240 volts. So if you have to use a European extension, this comes with it, you're good to go, or we'll just plug this in. So on this particular case, we're just going to plug it in here, and we'll go to the next step. Okay, now this is your photo sensor relay. This is your power coming from your service outlet or an extension cord. Now remember, do not put power to the fan unless your fan is secured, because it will automatically start spinning once it's plugged in. But take your main power, and it's going to go to the bottom plug. Now if you have a red light, the red light signifies that you have power. The bright green light tells you that you have power coming out. Now as I cover the photo sensor, and this is on a long cord, so you can put this wherever you might want to put it. Right now it's sensing the light. If I cover it, it goes to a dim green, which means the power is not going through. Now there is a pedometer on here, which is very important. You're going to want to set this to fine-tune the sensitivity. So there we got to actually fine-tune to this room. Right here it wouldn't work at all. As we open it, now you got power on, power off. Now I like to have this near the front of the game so you can open up your coin door. You can fine-tune the pedometer to when the game's on or when the game's off. You might have to place this in a particular space in your game, but this way when your game turns on and there's light inside your game, it will tell your fan to turn off. When you turn off the game and there's no light, it'll turn it off. So this is what makes it an Ultimate Topper. This allows your fan to work on any game, even an old EM game, brand new game, any manufacturer. Now these are your power outputs. There's a barrel connector, and this will plug into the wire that runs down out into the topper. Now I have this extra length here just so I can demonstrate this, but you're not going to have quite this much space as it's running out underneath your game. So with the photo sensor within the dark cabinet, you can see it's a dim green light, which means power is not going through. As I bring it a little bit forward and it gets a little bit more light, it'll go to a bright green. That's going to allow the power to go through. So you can see just from that little distance. So the lights that are inside your game there will turn this on. Now, as I said, I like to have it right here in case I have to fine tune it. I can move the pedometer as I need to fine tune this control. Okay, again a reminder, do not plug this into power unless your fan is secure, because it will turn on automatically once it gets power. Now we don't have any power to this right now, so I'm going to plug this in. Now also I'll point out that this is a gravity held in system, so be a little bit cautious with that. Now we recommend running the cord and using a clear tape and run it down the side of the stand, or if you prefer, if you want it centralized, run it through the center of the stand. But any clear tape, not a invisible tape, but a true clear tape will look good on this. Now, remove the bottoms of the Velcro, and once you get this in place, it stays on pretty well. It can be removed, but it locks on really well. Now, you want to center it, and then just drop and paste and push it down so the Velcro will lock. Okay, now that the topper is installed, we'll turn on the power. Now on the spike systems, it does take a few seconds for the power to cycle through, and again, that's not going to turn on till we see lights in the playfield. And I would suggest you put the photo sensor to the most sensitive spot, because you don't want the lights flashing on and off. When your fan turns on, it takes it about a second to get up to speed to get a nice stable image. And when it turns on, it actually puts its name on there, 3D hologram, on the fan. Now this is going to stabilize, and once it stabilizes, you'll have your images going. Now we put a couple of images on here that you're going to get with the Star Wars premium package. Of course, Leia hologram was a big request for this particular game, but we'll let it set through a couple of videos. Now, because of the shutter speed that you have, you probably see a flutter in the image. When you see this live, there is no flutter, and it does look like there is a 3D image. And of course, you can see right through the image. That's why you want to secure down the power cord. You can see it's kind of hanging there. If you run it down straight, it'll give you a really good clean look. Now these are a few of the images that come in the Star Wars package. One of the ones that does get requested a lot is the Death Star, and that's one that comes in the set. So thank you for watching our video on how to install lighted pinball toppers.